Hi, good morning. I hope you're well on this incredibly busy time right before the holiday. I'm actually sewing a few holiday gifts, which I'm making a video about, which I will post soon. It just started snowing in New York City. I don't know if you can see it out the window, but I love the snow. I do love this time of year. I'm reading this great book titled Wintering, and it's really about that sort of letting your body and your heart and your soul be in the winter, which means slowing down, uh, being more quiet, taking more time with things. Anyway, I'll put a link below. I got it from the library and I really love it. All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you what I learned in this fashion illustration class. I took the first fashion illustration class I've ever taken in my life. I am not in this video trying to teach you how to do it. I am not qualified to do that at all. I'm just going to show you the steps that I went through. If you have a little curiosity about it, you might want to take a class. I'm sure there's probably a YouTube video that does teach it. I took my class through Mood Fabrics. They have a whole fashion studio with a lot of sewing classes. If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, it's over in New Jersey. I'll also put a link to their school below. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed going there. I enjoyed being in the room, being in person. It was really lovely. The teacher was wonderful. So this is the first fashion illustration that I have ever made. It is of, I was using other images. This isn't something I made up, but it's of a dress that I made recently. I just did a sew along for this dress and I was just trying out something for the first time, and I'm very happy with it. And then I'll show you a couple others that I made. This was based off also a photograph. It's a cool dress. I'd like to make it myself. And it's what we do is, I'll get into it, but there's marker, there's watercolor, there's many steps to getting the color and the style that you want in here. Also the suit, all these things I would like to make eventually, get to that point. But I took the class, so I often think of things that I want to make, and then I'll go in search of a pattern or in search of a picture. And I know I've said in my videos before, I did take a pattern making class. So I need to put all these skills to work, but I wanted to do this so that I could at least get ideas down on paper and then move to creating a pattern. This is one more I did. And you may be able to see this size of a croquis is what they call the original drawing, is sort of the standard size. I made one that's closer to my size. So you can see this one is a little bit larger. And that's what I'm going to use. So I can actually see what things look like rather on the super skinny version. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to change the camera angle and show you the first few steps. Hi, my name is Linda. I want to introduce myself if you're new to my channel. I'm an actor and writer living in New York, as I said, and a lover of sewing and fashion and figuring out how to sew a wardrobe where I open my closet and I love everything that's in there. And it's really a reflection of who I am at this point in my life and how I want to present myself and how I want to dress. So that is my quest, and I continue to work on it and will continue to post interesting content, I hope. Please like the video and subscribe, and let's get on with this. Okay, so the first thing we did on the first day is divide the paper into 9 sections. The proportion that you're always going to use when making a croquis is the 9 heads. And you can see here on the handout what those 9 heads divide up into. So this was my first drawing on the first day. Went a 1/2 inch down and then put a mark 1 inch and 1/8 all the way down, divided the paper and started by just practicing, because it was all new to me, drawing a head. I am not an illustrator. I am not a drawer, so my freehand at doing this was not the best. You know, she really recommended that I do this, just mess around in order to get stronger at it, which I will definitely do. The other thing that she emphasized is she taught us how to draw a basic croquis so that we knew how they came together. But once I had a finished one, I don't have to redraw it every time. I can continue to use the model that I have. But I'm also just sharing this with you so you know. The whole torso is within these 3 heads. As you can see, I put the titles: head, bust, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot. And then I just did straight lines once those measurements were all in there. So another tool that she gave us to help us see the shapes is this with all these triangles, which I thought was really cool. And we practiced doing it this way just to feel it out. Again, I'm not an experienced drawer, so all these things were really helpful. Here it is. Once you've done the shapes, then fleshing it out. So I got to the point where I had a basic croquis that I liked in this straightforward, flat position. And the next step was to get into movement, which you can see here. So what we did initially, I'll show you to learn the movement. Let me just start with a blank page, which was fun, is she gave us these handouts and we just traced them to feel the movement. And she suggested we do it in Sharpie because it's easier to move and it's a little looser and allows you to not be so precious with your drawing ability, which we can all be. And she wanted us to just initially get the lines of the torso and like where they break. So the waist is breaking this way, the hips are breaking this way, the legs are coming down here, and then the other leg is shortened because it's behind. Arms are coming down this way, the hand, this arm close to the body, and you start to feel the movement. So we did a bunch of those. This is one of the first ones I did. This is another one. This is some more, just to get, again, the feeling for the movement. And then once you have the stick figure like this, you start again to round things out and to flesh it out. So these are the croquis that I ended up with for the standard size, straight, flat figure that I could trace over. She had you do it on tissue paper so that it's easy to trace. This is the one where I liked the movement the most. And so this became a standard that I could use. So again, once you go through all these processes, you don't have to start over with drawing the measurements out each time. The point is to get yourself to this so you have something that you can use. And of course, the point is eventually to have such good freehand that, you just do it. So I wanted, though, to make a croquis that was my size, which this is the basic one that I came up with. So I messed around with the measurements. I started with 1 3/4 is for the shoulders and then altered them based on my measurements. And she helped me finalize this. So this was the standard size. Now, of course, I wanted to take that into movement. So what I did, start here with the head, the shoulders, and this is going off of this one. I don't think I showed you this one before to get the movement, where you have these basic shapes. If, you know, your shoulders are going to go this way, your hips are going to go the opposite way, and your knees are going to go the same direction as your hips, and then your ankles the other way. So using this idea, started with the head here, the shoulders, and then tilted it to trace the waist and the hips, because they're going to go the same direction as when you cock your hip. Your hip and your waist are going that direction, your shoulders the other direction. And then what she had me do, which I haven't totally filled in on this one, is then straighten it back out in order to get the supporting leg, which I did. Trace here. And then so that I could have the movement, move this over here to get the other leg. And the foot's going to come up a little higher because it's behind. You get the idea. You can see the shadow of what I started with when it was just straight on. So now that I've got the shape I want off of my basic croquis, I'm going to go ahead and outline this in Sharpie so that I can use it to trace the final fashion illustration that I want to make. Now that I've got my basic shape here, what I'm going to do is take a piece of this mixed media paper, because it enables you to use watercolor and marker on it. It will absorb both, and put it over this. In the class, we had a light box that was under here, so you could really see better than I could see here my figure, but I can see it well enough. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can use it to start my basic drawing. And what I'm going to do still, you know, what we did in the class was draw off of fashion photos, and I'm going to continue to do that until I get a little better at this, rather than draw something out of my head yet. So I'm going to follow underneath my drawing here, and I'm going to get this basic form of this outfit. Okay, bear with me here. I'm still learning. This looks okay. You get the idea. And then I feel like maybe this croquis that I made here is a little long in the torso, but I'm a little long in the torso. I don't know. I have to keep working on it. I feel like I've used the croquis underneath pretty well to give myself the measurements that I want. I mean, not the measurements, the shape of the garment that I want. And now I can start to do the details without tracing. We talked about faces, and she said you can do anything you want. Right now, I'm just doing something really simple. That's what I'm comfortable with. What I really love about this design is the kind of masculine feminine mix. This very sort of tailored, traditionally masculine business shirt, but it's got this other fabric, and putting together two fabrics. I'll put a link to this designer also. It's just super cool, and the kind of tuxedo slouchy pants. Love it. Anyway, all right, the next step is to take this waterproof pen and to do an outline, because then I'm going to erase the pencil. Trying to get a little more confidence, just drawing, letting my hand go where it can go. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to erase all the pencil. And again, this croquis is a little larger because this is closer to my size, natural size 10 to 12. And this gets into a whole discussion of body image, obviously, in models and how women are represented. And that's why I really wanted to work in a way that felt like closer to my body and not some ideal, so that I'm not looking at some super skinny figure that the clothes are never going to look like that on me. Okay, let me get my supplies. Water and brush and the markers. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. This was fun. I need, obviously, to keep working and keep getting better at this. I think I lost a little bit of movement in her shape here. Various things I can continue to perfect. As I start to draw my own ideas, I will share more with you and figure out where I want to go with this. But I just wanted to show you the basic process and what I learned. So thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Okay, bye. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Bye.